So I've been considering not making and posting this video for the last few days, and I'll be touching upon some of the reasons for that throughout this video. But fundamentally speaking, I realized that, for the people that take the time to check out my content, and, I really appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be doing you a service if I didn't post this video. So, which is ultimately why I decided to do it. So, long story short, I've had the worst start on any offer that I've ever been on this offer. I've taken 24 live calls at this point, and I've only closed one deal. Right? By far the worst start that I've ever had on a single offer. And it's got me thinking, because ultimately I know I can close deals. I've closed millions of dollars of deals before. And it has me reflecting on what's going on, what's different now versus before. And I think there's a lot of fear in me, and I'm carrying a lot of fearful emotions onto my calls, and I'm dragging a lot of uncertainty onto my calls that is reflecting upon my prospects, right? Because they can most likely feel that fear and uncertainty. Because to put it all out there, like I consciously made the decision to not do any sales or not take any calls for like 3-4 months, right? And it's put me in a situation now where it's like I want to get some money coming in, right? Because there's not too much runway left. And so because of that, putting this out there, even just knowing that I'm saying that online, that people will see that, there's a lot of negative emotions attached to it, right? There's a lot of, I wouldn't necessarily say shame, but you feel bad I feel bad for putting myself in a situation like this, not recording the video, obviously, but just ending up in a situation that I am in. And so I've been asking myself, because I don't feel like I'm able to show up the way I should show up on these calls. And so I've been reflecting on why, and I think I'm putting so much weight on every single call and the outcome of every single call, right? Because it's no longer a, hey, can I serve this person? Can I help this person? It's more so, if I don't close this deal, then, I don't make money. And if I don't make money, then, hey, I have limited runway left. And if I run out of money, then I don't have any money. And what's going to happen then? And so it's very difficult to show up and serve the other person on the other side of the camera, I guess, when it's no longer about serving them and figuring out if what I'm selling is a good fit for them. It's about, how can I get you through so that I can serve my own goals, right? And that's ultimately not a great place to sell from. And so I'm doing, essentially today, and I'm going to be probably doing it over the next couple of days, just a lot of internal work, right? In terms of how can I, just digging really deep into those beliefs and figuring out if they are true, right? Some questions that I'm asking myself is like, if I close this deal, what does that say about me, right? And if I don't, what story am I telling myself, right? And so, to be very honest and transparent, the last couple of days, the story has been, hey, if I don't close this deal, I might run out of money, right? And if I run out of money, then I'm gonna look bad. Other people are gonna laugh at me. I'm gonna look like an idiot. I might have to, move back home, start all over. There's so much more weight added to the actual, I guess, sale. And I'm putting all that pressure unconsciously or on the prospect, right? And so I'm also asking myself, I'm just looking at, some of the questions that I'm asking myself here, but what specifically am I afraid of if they do say no, right? And it kind of goes back to that thing as well, in terms of, will I lose this job, right? Will I lose this income generating opportunity, right? Again, what will that say about me? Will I then have to start over? What if I can't find another, opportunity quickly? What if the next opportunity isn't as good as this one? there is a lot of weight. And what I'm essentially trying to do is I'm working on letting go of it, right? So I don't bring all of those emotions onto the call, right? So I don't sit there and essentially put all of that baggage on the prospect, because it's not fair to them either, right? It's not fair to them that I am coming on there and putting so much weight and pressure on them to do something for my own gain when it's supposed to be the other way around, right? But that also leads me back to how I started off this video initially, in the sense that ultimately this is about service, right? And if I want to truly serve the prospects on my calls, well then, hey, I need to serve you guys as well, right? The people that look at my videos. And so I felt like making this video, putting my fear away, putting my pride away, and going from a place of vision and just sharing this and showing, I guess the dark side of I guess this entrepreneurial journey, whatever you want to call this, right? I think that ultimately is coming from a place of service, which is what I want to step more and more into on this new role that I'm in, so that I can help people more, right? So it was a little bit of a rant. Hopefully it made sense. But if you have any thoughts, any questions, anything like that, feel free to let me know. And love if you drop a like on the video, comment, subscribe, whatever. And I'll keep you guys posted, right? Although this isn't the most glamorous journey and it was not what I expected this series to turn into, I think there's a lot to learn here, not only for me, but also for you guys. So I'm going to be sharing everything that I learn along the way. And yeah, again, I appreciate you checking out the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.